Alright, so going back to OSRS here, 6 mounds that we're going to have to check out before we get to the good part of the actual maze tunnel at the end and the real loot drop once we find our way. The 6 fights really aren't bad at all. You'll see I'm going to take each of these ghosts down in probably, I don't know, 10 to 30 seconds, depending on, their attacks and what I'm praying against and whatnot. But really the whole point of it is we need to kill all 6 brothers in order to get enough points for the end loot drop. And then even once we're in this maze, you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute, at that point there's going to be a few creatures in there. There's going to be a skeleton, 2 different types of spiders we kill, and that's going to maximize our odds at a decent loot drop. So again, we're shooting for collections items today. Enough of me talking, let's just dive in, okay? We'll see which... Looks like we got a melee boss here. Not a boss really, just a melee ghost I should say. I'm just going to use my magic attack to take him out. And you'll see I'm using the twin flame staff. This is actually the first time I've used this. It gives you infinite, I believe, air runes and fire runes, if I recall correctly. And you can see that in my mage attack options here. That fire rune icon has a little asterisk next to it, so you know that I've got an unlimited supply. So hopefully this staff does the trick for what we're doing today. Looks like we've got a meleeer here. I'm going to switch my gear and we'll attack him with our blowpipe. Did I say meleeer? I meant to say major. If I didn't say major, I meant major. Obviously you can see his magic attack there. Okay, there's number 2. Now we'll head back up and we'll go to the 3rd mound. You can do these in any order, so, whatever pattern you're comfortable with, just roll with it. Now we have another meleeer here. So I'm going to go back to my magic attack to take him down. Sammy, how's it sounding in the stream here? Is it still coming out clear? Okay, I got the you're good, so glad you guys can hear me better now. So there's 3 of the ghosts down. We'll head over to the 4th mound. If you've not done this yourself, you should know that 4 of these ghosts do attack with melee, so for the most part, walking in with your mage gear active and a protect from melee prayer on is pretty much a good practice to have. And then if we happen to stumble into the mage's tomb like you already saw, or there's even a ranger out there, then we can just adjust accordingly. So let's go into the 4th one here. Okay, so this is a good point in the process here. You can see that when I attempt to click on this sarcophagus, it actually tells me that we found a hidden tunnel, and it asks me if we want to enter. We actually don't want to yet, because there's still, I believe, 2 brothers out there that we haven't killed in the mounds, and then the final 6th brother, who otherwise would have been in this tomb area, is going to be in the actual maze part, so we'll get to him later. So before we go in this tunnel, let's head back out and finish off the other mounds, so that way we can maximize our loot potential once we complete the maze. Oh, here's the ranger here. So I'm just going to protect from range. I'm still going to use my magic attack. Why not? The whole key to these ghost fights too is you want to take these ghosts down as quickly as you can. The more time you spend in these tombs, the more prayer you're going to lose because it's constantly draining you in there. You can see I'm down to 25 right now. So I'm just going to take a quick sip of my prayer pot just to stay almost like it half filled there. And here's the last meleeer. We're just gonna mage him, so this is number 5 in terms of the ghost that we've killed. And then after this, we're gonna head back into that tunnel area where we found the secret path in order to finish off this whole thing. Okay. Again, I guess now that my voice is coming through clearer, I'll just kind of ask you guys if you wouldn't mind liking the video and following my page. I'd super appreciate that. We're still trying to work towards 50 followers right now, so every like we get and every subscribe we get is incredibly helpful. So thank you guys. Let's head into the maze here. There's really no right or wrong way to go about the maze. You'll see here that for some of the paths, there's going to be double-sided doors. Some of the doors open, some of them don't. And if you just kind of hover over the doors, like this one for example, you can see it doesn't open, so we can't go through it. And then for these doors over to the east side, that one also doesn't give us the option to open, so we can't go through it. So we're just going to head through the west doors, it's the only option we have. And we might as well kill this skeleton while we're here, since we were going to look for him anyway, in addition to 2 different types of spiders. Okay. Every time that ghost thing pops up on the side of my screen, we're actually losing prayer. You can see I'm down to 0 now. But I'm not going to waste my time refilling that because it's just going to drain again. So, you know, we'll just kind of let it be at 0 until we find the final ghost. So again, what I'm really looking for is a way to get into the middle section where the main chest is. We actually found it right there, so we know how to get in. Before I go in, I'm just going to go find those 2 spiders that we need in order to maximize our loot potential. Looks like they're going to be in here. This is a solo combat area, so I have to find a way to get the skeleton off of me, so that way I can attack the spiders. So let's see if we can just kind of sneak out this door for a minute. Worst case scenario, we could just kill the skeleton, but you might be here all day killing different things. I'd rather just find a way to get the spiders that we want. Alright, they're not leaving us alone. Let's just kill them. Now you guys will probably remember here, we still need to kill the 6th Barrows brother. He's gonna auto-spawn once we get into the chest area and try to open it. If we haven't already found him in the maze, he's gonna pop out right there and we'll fight him. So it kind of like just works itself out. It's part of the process. We killed the smaller spider, now we're just gonna kill this giant crypt spider. And then we're gonna be at close to, I think it's 87% points towards our loot. So that's really as high as we can ask it to get before we open up the chest. So now let's head back over here. Okay, there's the final brother. Let's protect for melee here. We'll put our mage stuff back on. Once we kill this guy, all we have to do at that point is open up the chest. We'll check our loot. And then the ceiling's going to start crumbling on us, so we just got to find a way out as soon as we can. And it looks like we got about 81k worth of runes that time. I don't have a lot of room in my inventory, so I'm just going to eat some of this food so I can pick up the blood runes and the chaos runes. The coins we'll leave there for somebody else to find if they want them. Now you might notice in my inventory I actually have teleport tabs for the Barrows Brother fight location. I could use that to get out of here, but I'd rather just show you guys how kind of chaotic it could get. If you don't have the tabs on you, you know, you have to manually find a ladder and climb out, so let's just give that experience so it'll be a complete video. Here's our ladder, so we're just going to click on that, and now we're back at the top. So that's our first run. That took probably about 8 minutes or so to complete, maybe even less. We got 80k for it, so a pretty good use of our time right there. And now we're going to do it again. Same exact thing. We got a meleeer there. I'll restore my prayer and protect from him, and then we're going to attack him with our magic staff. Down. For some reason I just like starting off in the upper right and then I go towards the middle here. Again, there's really no right or wrong way, just kind of find whatever's most comfortable for you and that becomes the plan. At the end of it all, we've got to kill all 6 brothers somehow, some way, then a skeleton, and then 2 spiders in the maze, so however you want to approach that, it's up to you. Okay, so you'll see here, this is a different mound that we've now found the secret tunnel in. Again, we don't want to go in there just yet. We want to finish off the rest of the brothers before we go in there. So now we'll just head over to the next mound and we'll keep going through them. The cool thing about Barrows Brothers is the loot drops are actually pretty good. Just for some reason I never really put the time in before. But you really don't need any fancy gear or super high levels or anything like that in order to do this, so might be a good thing to try out if you're kind of like even at a lower tier with your armor set, or certainly a middle tier. Something that pretty much anybody can just hop in and do. Got the ranger here. Just protect from range real quick. I'll have to actually pay attention to the seconds here. It's got to be about 10 seconds to beat each of these guys, so pretty low stress in that regard. I think finding my way out of the maze is the biggest problem I have with this whole thing. Okay, so that's 5 brothers that we took out. Now we're going to go back up to the northwest mound, because that's the one that we had found the tunnel in. And we're just going to pop in there. Yes, I am fearless. See if we can get around the skeletons here and take one of them out. This little bloodworm keeps chasing me around now. There we go. Sometimes it might help to zoom out a little bit so you can start to put your mouse over some of the doors. You can see here I actually can't go to the east, and I can't go to the south, and I can't go north. So this is just a dead end that I can't get past, so instead of walking that whole distance, sometimes it could be good just to hover over the doors, and then it figures out the path for you. Okay, here's the last brother. Gonna drink some prayer and protect real quick. Like I mentioned earlier, sometimes as you're walking through the maze, the last brother will just randomly spawn there whenever you get into a certain area. But if he doesn't, and you don't have a chance to fight him before you open the chest, he's gonna spawn automatically as soon as you walk into the chest area, so again, you don't really have to go out of your way to find him, he will find you. Here's the area with the spiders, that's really what I was looking for. Just want to take out 2 of these. I'm gonna take out 1 small one, and then 1 bigger one. Oh, this little guy's hitting me here. Sometimes I wonder if I even need to take the prayer, or if it's better just to bring a bunch of food items with me here. Just because between the gear I have and my overall level, it doesn't seem like I take a ton of damage. Makes me wonder if it'd be cheaper just to pay for the food. I'm sure there's going to be different opinions on that though. Oops. We'll complete this little puzzle door here. I do have a RuneScape plugin in that kind of tells me the answer there. If you need to, you could look it up on the wiki page to see what's the solution to the puzzle. Or just keep clicking random answers, eventually you'll get it right. So now we're going to open our chest. And we've got about 46k this time. So again, I mean, when you look at the number of minutes we put in, it's going to be less than 10. We've already made over 100k today, so pretty good investment of your time here. Let me zoom out. We're going to try to find the ladder so we can get out of here before our health gets depleted. Let me know if you guys spot the ladder. I'll keep an eye on the chat here. We're frantically searching. Again, this is the most nerve-wracking part for me. It's like, will I ever get out of here? There's our ladder. We found a way. Cool. So again, once we go back above ground here, that now resets all of the different ghosts and all the mounds. So as soon as you're ready, you can just dive back in. We've got another watcher in the stream. Thanks so much for joining here. I appreciate you dialing in. We're gonna go back in now. Let me equip my mage gear. We'll check out this first coffin. Looking at the chat, it does get intense. I don't know why I get so anxious over finding the ladder in the maze, but it's just kind of like you want to breathe a sigh of relief now that the fight's over, and then it's like you're just getting started again trying to find a way out. Let's go down into the second mound. liking this twin flame staff. Again, I never used that one before. I think it cost about 8 million or something when I bought it. But it's auto-casting my spells for me, and it auto-decides which of my spells is going to be most effective against the thing that I'm fighting. So it seems to be doing a good job of taking the ghost down. As I jinx myself and hit straight zeros. Of course. Almost there. I didn't even realize I was so busy watching the my staff the whole time, I wasn't even using the right prayer. No wonder my health is going down. Now we can't hit it all. There we go. I definitely jinxed us there, big time. Let's go to the next one. The game's mad at me for talking about the maze. Now it's going to give me something else to be upset about. It looks like we just found the secret tunnel there, so again, we're going to ignore that for now. Let's just quickly walk over to a different mound. We'll kill the other 3 brothers that we can access. And then we'll go back to the maze entrance once we're ready. Ranger. Yeah, going back to that major I was having an issue with. I wasn't hitting too well because it was also a major. I just wasn't paying attention. So normally you would want to switch to your range gear when you're fighting that one, and that guy would have gone down a lot quicker than he did. That's just my bad, not enough paying attention there, but hopefully it'll help you guys out. So that's the 5th brother, the last one that we can reach right now. So now we're going to go back over here. We'll find the secret tunnel again. And now we're going to hunt down the skeleton and the 2 spiders. And there's a few different sets of creatures you can kill in here that all kind of get you to the same outcome, but for me, I just like going the skeleton 2 spider route. There's the final brother, so let's take him out. Just one less piece of the puzzle we'll need to worry about later. So again, I think we've done 3 different runs so far here today. So far, the final brother has popped up in a different place each time. So it's definitely random. You know, it could be any path you walk down, I believe, the brother might spawn in, so just be ready to switch your gear on and all that if he does pop out at you. We just finished him, so no big deal. I think after this run I might run back, I'll teleport to the bank and grab some more food. I never really know how much to bring in my inventory here, since it kind of changes each time I come. Okay. So we just need 2 spiders. Looks like they're in this room over here. got that bloodworm on me, so I'll try to get away from that. Sometimes I'll just kill the things. It does impact the drop rate potential you have though, so not a horrible thing, but there's kind of like a sweet spot where you want to be in between like 85 to 87% of the calculations. There's like an in-game calculation that tells you where you're at. If you get too high, you kind of end up with some loot that you don't really want. Just like redundant stuff that's not worth too much. Okay. Let's see if we can get to the middle chest area. We've got to find our way. Looks like we can't get in here. Looks like we might have to actually come in from the north side. So let's see if we can run around this way. You can see as I'm hovering on these doors, it's not giving me the option to open them, so actually same here. None of the paths are able to be taken, so let's go back the way we came. I was mentioning yesterday that it's not a bad idea to bring some stamina potions with you, or at least one, because if this happens and we're just doing laps around the whole maze, your run energy can deplete pretty quickly. I'm starting with a high level, so I'm still in a good spot, but for newer players with lower levels, that might be an issue for you. Alright. We found our way in. Now we're just going to open up the chest. About 28k. Let's teleport out real quick. We'll do a quick bank run, and then we'll do a couple more rounds before we shut off the stream. Again, if you wouldn't mind liking this video and following my page, you know, subscribing, all that stuff helps. So thank you so much for doing that. Such uplifting music around Varrock here. Makes you want to stay. I think that'll be good. And now I'm just gonna teleport back since I have my tablets here anyway. And now when you use that teleport tab, it takes you right to, I guess it's like a cemetery entrance, and then the mounds are right inside, so I'm just going to use my spade and go back down. Let's see if I can remember to use the right protection spells or prayers this time. I'll save myself some health. Okay. Just gonna throw on my range gear here. You can see this is taking them out significantly quicker than the last round when I had my magic staff out, so definitely bring a ranged weapon when you're coming through here. There we go. number 4. Okay, it looks like this is the tomb where the tunnel is, so we'll come back to that in a minute. We've got the ranger here, so you'll see I'm using my protect from range prayer. Okay, we'll get the 5th brother and then go back to our tunnel. Hoping for a collections drop this time. It's coming, I can feel it. Our chances have to be pretty good. There's a whole bunch of collections things here I don't have. There's 28 total, and I've only found 2. I kind of like the odds that we're going to get something new here. Let's go down into the tunnel with the secret path. We are still fearless. Let's go west this time. Kill 1 skeleton, then we'll look for our 2 spiders. The chat believes we're gonna get a collections item. We're determined, right? We cannot go the south route, so we're gonna go west some more. We cannot go east, so we're gonna go south some more. Now it looks like we can go east here. Okay, so you can see we can open the door to go north, and that's gonna take us into the chest room. Let's come back to that in just a second, though. I want to find... I was actually looking for the spiders, but since the brother's here, we'll kill him. Okay. Now let's go get those 2 spiders. And then we'll collect our loot. I'm gonna head over here for when I kill this spider. I'm hoping to avoid the other ones from aggroing to me, so that way I can tack one of the tiny ones. Perfect. Okay, and that just got us to our 87% for the loot drop potential. That's exactly where we wanted to be. Again, if we go too high, we end up getting some stuff from there that really isn't all that valuable. Being around 87% is what's going to help us get those collections items. Alright, here it comes. No collections items. Bummer. But we did get 77k, so that's pretty good for 10 minutes of our time. We'll leave the coins there. Let's go find our ladder out of here, and then we'll do it again. I'm gonna zoom out again, so that way we can try to see where the ladders spawn. It's gotta be over on the right-hand side, because we haven't come across it yet. There it is. Alright, so we'll just take the ladder up, and then again, once we get up there, this whole map is going to reset, so then we can run through the brothers again. I told you guys earlier, it doesn't really matter what order we go in, so now that we started over in the bottom left, let's just try this route. Just to kind of demonstrate that you can really just do whatever you feel like doing, as long as you make sure to kill 5 of the 6 brothers before you go into the main maze area. See a few others have joined. Thanks so much for dialing in. Appreciate you guys being here. There's one brother. We'll go on to the next one. This happens to be the major. I think it's predefined actually. You can actually predict which ghost is going to be in each tomb, but I just haven't spent a lot of time here, so I'm still kind of learning what they all are. But it's pretty predictable in that sense if you actually just look up the wiki page or anything like that. Got another meleeer here, so let's keep using our magic staff and we'll protect from melee to take him out. I'll boost up my prayer a little bit. Again, that's constantly getting drained every time this ghostly figure pops up on my screen. We lose some prayer. So nothing you can really do about it. You just got to keep refilling whenever necessary. Okay. Let's go to the next one. This is a good example too. You can see somebody else happen to be in the same tomb, already fighting the same brother that I need to fight. Doesn't make any difference. For every player that's in the game, as soon as you click on the sarcophagus, a new version of that brother will pop up, and then both players can fight them at the same time. So just the fact that other players are in here doesn't really make any difference to me. We can just keep doing our thing. Okay, so here's the tomb with the tunnel in it. There's actually one brother we haven't finished yet. I ran right past him earlier, so let's go finish off him. And then we'll come back and go down into the tomb. So this one's the ranger. Again, make sure you've got the right protection spell on so you don't take unnecessary damage. This one's going to be the one now. We were wrong last time, but this is going to be the collections drop. I can feel it. We'll be right eventually. Alright, so 5 brothers are done. The 6th brother we'll find down in the maze area, so let's go back up here. We'll go over to Barrows Mound. Click on his sarcophagus, and now we've got the option to enter again. I might as well kill this skeleton while we're here. Reminder, we're looking for a skeleton and then 2 different spiders. So hopefully we find them pretty quickly, and then we'll go open up our chest. it looks like to get into the center chest area, we have to approach from the south. I just hovered on those doors and could see that. So we'll head that way once we kill these spiders. First, I need this little crypt rat to get off of me. Just give him a sec to cool down there. We'll try to run in and... trying to block myself from the skeleton since he was aggroed to me. Because really I don't want to kill him now, I'm just looking for the two spiders. Perfect. Okay. So again, we're going to head back down here and look for the south entrance to get into the chest area. And we've not run into the sixth brother, I think. I'm forgetting now, we did a couple runs of these here. But yeah, since we haven't killed him yet, when we go to open the chest, he should spawn right here. So let me refill my prayer. And boom, there he is. So now that he's done, our potential for the loot drop is at 87%, and we're good to search this thing. And we got 61k worth of runes. No collections drop. But it's coming. It's coming. Let's go look for the way out of here. It's funny, all the in-game sound goes. It's like real dramatic, like everything's ending there. Hopefully the ladder will be up here in the northeast corner. If not, we're gonna have to do a whole lap around the place again. It is not in the northeast corner. Let's keep running. Oh, good. Luckily this western door is open though, so we can sneak through here. Like I mentioned earlier, if you run around too much, your stamina is going to deplete. You can see that mine just did. So again, it's not a bad idea if you want to bring a stamina potion. It might save you a few extra minutes there instead of just slowly walking around like I am. Just to take a swig of your stamina, and then you can keep at it. This is crazy. So the ladder's right there, but we cannot get through this door. So we've got to go back a little bit. We'll backtrack, and then we're going to go through this other northwestern door to take the long way around. I told you, it drives me crazy. Finding your ladder is longer than everything else combined in this maze fight. Alright, we did it. Nice job, team. Alright. So let's do another one here. We still have plenty of food, so we'll try to get lucky on this one. One down. thing I like about this twin flame staff is you can see when I use my attack, it's actually shooting twice. That's pretty unique, like not all mage weapons do that, so it's kind of like an added perk to this one. So far it seems like it was worth the investment to buy that. Between having infinite air and fire runes, and then having that double attack feature, it's pretty cool. We've got the ranger here, so I just had to re-up my prayer and now we'll protect from range. Easy. Okay, that's 3 down. We've got the major here, so let me put my range gear on. Hit him with my special attacks, get an extra shot in, why not? There we go. Can't go wrong with the blowpipe. Does so much damage so quick. Alright, so we've actually got 5 brothers done already. That was pretty quick. So this should be our secret passage here, and it is. Let's see. Now we'll go find the skeleton. There's one. We'll take him out. Okay, there's our last brother that we were looking for. Let me throw my mage gear back on. And it looks like we can't get into the chest area from the west side. We'll go around to the east side then, especially since we still need the spiders anyway. But at least we know all the brothers are done now, so just kind of work our way through it. Alright. That bloodworm loves attacking me. Okay. Oops. Didn't mean to leave him there. Just trying to click away. Oh no, now we aggroed the skeleton. Trying to get on the other side of the spiders so we can hit them without the skeletons attacking me. Let's go out and come back in again. Alright. It's hard to tell which one's attacking you when they're on all sides, because they don't always do damage, so you're just trying to look around to see where you got touched from. Okay, so after this the smaller crypt spider, we should be good to go open up our chest. Looks like we actually can't get in from that side. Let's try to head back up. This maze area is really the reason I haven't gotten a lot of Barrows Brothers kills. I just, the mental exhaustion gets you after a while. Let's open this up and see what we got. Alright, 23,000 worth of blood runes. I'm sorry, death runes. Death runes. Alright, let's find our way out of here. I think we might try to do one more. I was really hoping we'd get a collections drop from the stream, so let's do one more before we shut it down. To speed up a little bit, I'll just use my teleport tab. And we'll just go at it this way. Again, if you wouldn't mind liking the video and subscribing to my page, I'd much appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching. Let's see if we get lucky with this last kill, okay? Got the major here, so we're going to pull out our range weapon. That's 4 done. On to number 5. Looks like we got the ranger here. Keep using our staff though to take him down. Alright. So the next tomb we go in, this should be the secret tunnel. Because there's only one brother left here. So let's check it out. Yes, we are still fearless. Let's see, I'm just going to try to find the spiders. Looks like the only way we can go is west, so we'll head that way anyway. little rat is attacking me. I'm trying to get to the skeletons, but it won't let me. Okay, so it looks like we can get into the chest room from the west side, so we'll keep that in mind. But we still need to find the 2 spiders that I wanted to kill, so let's hunt them down. There they are. Now I'm trying to get away from the skeletons so we can fight the spiders. Okay, this should be it. Then we'll go collect our loot. There's the last brother. So we knew if he didn't pop up here, he was going to pop up at the chest anyway, so we'll just take him out. Alright, there we go. Sometimes I like to triple check that the other doors won't open. I feel like someday I'll get lucky and they'll magically let us through. Okay, let's see what we get here. No collections item. 63K. That's okay though, we still had fun. Guys, thanks so much for signing in here. Again, I appreciate you guys watching. If you could like the video and follow my page, I'd much appreciate that. You know, we'll keep putting out the content here, and hopefully next time we'll get a collections item. I'll catch you soon.